Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to do a deep dive into something I think really fascinating,
Go ahead.
and that is AI in India.
Oh, cool.
So we have an interview here with Anand,
Hmm.
director of research, and
Yeah.
I gotta say I've seen all this buzz about India's AI revolution,
Yeah.
and I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah.
Is it all hype,
Yeah.
or is there something real here?
I think that's a question a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And, this interview with Anand, I think, offers a really interesting perspective.
Okay.
He's been working in the field for a long time, so he's got a good grasp, I think, of
Mm-hmm.
both the potential and the challenges.
Okay, well, let's start with the budget then. Everyone was calling this the AI budget,
Right.
but honestly, when you look at the numbers,
Yeah.
they seem pretty modest.
Yeah.
500 crore rupees for AI centers of excellence.
Right.
A 10,000 crore deep tech fund spread out over 5 years.
Yeah.
That's not exactly the massive investment that some people were predicting.
Right. And actually makes the case that
Okay.
that maybe that's enough for now.
Really?
He thinks that India's strength lies in what he calls this frugal innovation. This idea of squeezing the most out of limited resources.
Like ISRO, like India's space program.
Exactly.
I mean, they've done incredible things with a tiny fraction of
Yeah.
NASA's budget.
Right.
But can that approach really work in
He
AI?
brings up a good point.
Okay.
He talks about DeepSeek,
Okay.
which is this Indian startup
Okay.
that built a model that's giving openai a run for its money.
Wow.
And they did it with a
Mm.
tiny fraction of the resources.
Okay.
And their secret was that they focused on building a model
Mm-hmm.
that was specifically designed for Indian languages and data sets.
Interesting. So instead of trying to be everything to everyone,
Right.
they found a niche and
Yeah.
dominated it.
Exactly.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, it is.
So instead of just throwing money at the problem,
Right.
they're being efficient and targeted.
Totally.
So maybe he's right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, surely India needs more
Yeah.
than just a handful of successful startups to become a
Totally.
real AI powerhouse.
He would agree with you completely on that.
Okay.
He really emphasizes the importance of public-private partnerships,
Okay.
which, India has a great track record with.
Yeah.
I mean, look at UPI,
Yeah.
the mobile payment system.
Right.
The government laid the groundwork,
Yeah.
and then private companies built these incredible services on top of it.
Totally. UPI is a game changer.
Yeah.
But even with the right partnerships and,
Correct.
some innovative startups,
Mm-hmm.
isn't there a massive talent gap when it comes to AI?
Definitely a concern.
Yeah.
And Anand acknowledges that he talks about the need for more skilled professionals in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And while the budget does outline some fellowship and skilling initiatives,
Right.
he argues that strengthening postgraduate AI programs in India is crucial because right now,
Yeah.
a lot of top talent goes abroad for higher education
Okay.
and then they don't come back.
So we're investing in training people who might end up working for Google or Microsoft in Silicon Valley.
A valid concern.
Yeah, that seems a little counterproductive.
And it ties into a point that really jumped out at me from the interview,
Okay.
which is that only 9% of India's R&D spending
Wow.
comes from universities.
Okay.
If you compare that to government and business enterprises,
Yeah.
it raises some serious questions about, where the priorities are.
So if India really wants to be a leader in AI,
Yeah.
they need to not only train the talent,
Right.
but also create an environment where that talent can thrive
Exactly.
and innovate within India.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about the geography of innovation here?
I mean, isn't most of the AI activity concentrated in places like Bengaluru?
Well, Anand would say that's starting to change.
Okay.
He sees huge potential in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities becoming AI hubs.
Okay.
And he points to a few reasons for that.
Okay.
Talent availability,
Right.
cost advantages,
Sure.
and let's be honest, the soul-crushing traffic
Oh, I hear you on that.
in major cities.
Yeah.
So those are all factors
Yeah.
driving this trend.
It's exciting to think about AI innovation
Yeah.
spreading beyond the usual suspects.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get real for a second.
Okay.
What about actual AI products coming out of India? Are we seeing anything beyond
Yeah.
these service-based companies?
Yeah. So this is where things get interesting
Okay.
and maybe a little controversial.
All right.
Anand is realistic.
Okay.
He admits that most Indian AI startups are focused on providing services right now.
Okay, well, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, India's IT services sector is world-class.
All right. So naturally, that expertise would carry over into AI.
Exactly.
But doesn't that limit India's potential
Well,
in the long run?
that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, can you really be a global AI leader
Right.
if you're primarily focused on services?
That's the key question.
Yeah.
And Anand acknowledges the desire for India to lead in product development eventually.
Okay.
But he believes, and this is where things get really fascinating,
Okay.
that India could become the world leader
Okay.
in AI implementation and customization.
Hold on, I need to unpack that a little bit.
Sure.
So you're saying that even if India isn't creating the most cutting-edge AI models, it could excel at taking those models and tailoring them to solve specific problems for businesses worldwide.
Exactly. Imagine a future
Wow.
where companies all over the globe are turning to India to implement and fine-tune AI solutions for their unique needs.
That's a really compelling vision. It ties in perfectly with the Make in India, Make for the World initiative.
It does.
But is that something Indian startups are even interested in? I mean, aren't they mostly focused on chasing quick profits?
So Anand argues there needs to be a mindset shift.
Okay.
He wants founders to think long-term, to focus on problem solving and building sustainable businesses. He even mentions Deep Kalra, the founder of Make My Trip, who advises young entrepreneurs to think in terms of 1,000 to 1,500 days.
Wow.
Not weeks or months.
1,500 days. That's a serious commitment.
Commitment, but I guess that's the kind of dedication it takes to build something really groundbreaking.
Absolutely.
So we've got this tension brewing here.
Yeah.
On one hand, India excels at providing AI services.
Right.
On the other hand, there's this ambition to become a product leader. So where do we go from here? Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to dive into next.
Okay.
Anand gets into some really interesting specifics about what a uniquely Indian approach to AI could look like and how we could impact the global landscape.
I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, me too.
So we left off talking about this tension between India's success in AI services and then this ambition to become a product leader.
Right.
I'm curious to hear what Anand thinks that uniquely Indian approach to AI would actually look like.
Yeah, so he lays out a few key elements.
Yeah.
First, he emphasizes building AI solutions that are relevant to the Indian context. You know, areas where India has a natural advantage.
Okay.
So think agriculture, healthcare, education.
That makes a lot of sense. Solve problems that directly impact 1 billion people rather than chasing the same shiny objects as Silicon Valley.
And it plays into that frugal innovation idea we were talking about. You know, India's history of finding creative, cost-effective solutions, I think that's a huge asset in the AI space.
Makes sense.
Especially when you consider the global competition for resources.
So it's not just about building fancy AI models. It's about building models that are efficient and affordable and actually applicable to real-world problems in India.
Totally.
I like that.
Yeah, and he also highlights the importance of collaboration.
Okay.
We talked about public-private partnerships.
Right.
But he takes it a step further.
Okay.
He's advocating for collaboration within the entire AI ecosystem.
Okay.
So researchers, startups, established companies sharing knowledge, resources, expertise.
It's almost like creating this collective brain power
Right.
to propel India forward.
Cool.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
There's some serious hurdles, too. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Anand himself brought up the talent shortage, limited access to computing power, the lack of mature funding models. He doesn't sugarcoat the challenges, but he sees them as opportunities to build a more resilient and sustainable AI ecosystem.
So how do we turn those challenges into opportunities?
Yeah, that's the question.
What concrete steps does he suggest?
Well, for starters, he reiterates the need to strengthen postgraduate AI programs and create more opportunities for researchers to work with industry. He also sees huge potential in upskilling India's massive pool of engineering talent for AI-related roles.
So leverage existing talent, give them the tools to thrive in the AI age. That's smart.
Yeah.
But what about the issue of computing power?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't reliance on foreign cloud providers and expensive GPUs a major bottleneck?
He acknowledges that, for sure, and suggests exploring alternative approaches.
Like what?
Like building indigenous computing infrastructure.
Partnering with domestic hardware manufacturers.
Hold on, is India seriously talking about becoming self-reliant?
It's a bold goal when it comes to AI hardware. It's a bold goal.
Wow.
But it aligns with that Make in India vision.
Right.
Of course, it would require significant investment and a long-term commitment.
Sure.
But imagine the possibilities if India could control its own AI hardware destiny.
That would be a game changer.
Yeah.
But it sounds incredibly ambitious.
Ambitious, yes.
Yeah.
But not impossible. Think about what India achieved with ISRO.
Right.
They built a world-class space program with limited resources and a lot of determination.
It's true.
So why not replicate that success in AI?
Okay. I'm starting to see how these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
It's not just about building AI. It's about building an entire ecosystem.
Totally.
The talent, the infrastructure, the funding models.
Yep.
It's about thinking long-term and playing the long game. And that brings us to another crucial point.
Okay.
That Anand raises the need for a clear and ethical framework for AI governance.
Yeah. AI ethics is a huge topic.
Absolutely. So we need to make sure we're building AI responsibly.
Right.
What kind of ethical considerations does he bring up?
Well, he talks about data privacy.
Okay.
Algorithmic bias. The potential impact of AI on employment.
Right.
He stresses the importance of transparency, accountability, and public engagement in shaping AI policies.
It's fascinating how the conversation around AI always seems to circle back to these fundamental questions of ethics and governance. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use it and who benefits from it.
And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
I agree.
It's not just a tech conversation.
Right.
It's a conversation about the future of India.
Yeah.
About its role in the world, about how we can shape technology to serve humanity.
It's inspiring to hear Anand talk about the potential of AI to solve real-world problems and improve people's lives. But he's also clearly urging caution, reminding us that we need to proceed thoughtfully and responsibly.
It's about finding that balance between innovation and responsibility, between ambition and caution.
Exactly.
And I think that's where AIM Research comes into play.
Okay.
His organization.
Yeah.
He hints at some really exciting plans for the future.
All right, so let's shift gears then and explore what AIM Research is all about.
Sounds good.
And how they fit into this grand vision of India's AI journey. Okay, so AIM Research, and clearly has big plans for it.
Yeah.
But what exactly is their mission? How do they fit into this larger picture of India's AI aspirations?
So from what Anand describes, AIM Research is positioning itself as this specialized research firm focused on AI genomics and data science. And not just within India, but globally.
So they're not just conducting research.
Right.
They're aiming to be thought leaders.
It seems that way.
Okay.
Yeah, he talks about creating this comprehensive database of global AI startups.
Okay.
Calling it Bot Bazaar.
Bot Bazaar. I love that.
It's catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy and memorable.
Yeah.
But what's the goal with this database?
So,
is it just information gathering or is it something more strategic?
He mentions it could be a really valuable resource for investors who are looking to support promising AI startups, especially in India.
Okay.
So imagine you're an investor.
Yeah.
You have access to this curated list of companies that are working on cutting-edge solutions with all the details about, they're funding their team, their technology.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It could really streamline that whole process of connecting investors with opportunities.
Exactly.
And fueling growth in India's AI ecosystem.
Yeah, it speaks to their broader goal
of
becoming kind of this think tank in the AI space.
Interesting.
This go-to source for insights and analysis.
And even compares their ambition to ISRO.
Yeah.
Aiming to become a globally recognized leader in their niche. Yeah. It's a bold vision.
It is.
And honestly, it makes you wonder if they can pull it off.
There's definitely a strong sense of purpose and determination in his words. He really sees AIM research as playing this key role in helping India navigate its rapidly evolving tech landscape.
So it's not just research for research's sake. It's about applying that knowledge to solve real-world problems and contribute to India's growth story.
I think that's a great way to put it.
This whole conversation has been incredibly insightful.
It has.
You know, we've explored the challenges and opportunities facing India's AI ecosystem. We delved into the budget announcements and even gave this glimpse into the ambitious vision.
Still really
fascinating story.
It is, and throughout this whole interview, there's this underlying theme of pragmatic optimism.
I agree.
You know, yes, there are obstacles.
Yeah.
But there's also this incredible energy and a sense of possibility that's really contagious.
It is.
It's like India is at this crossroads right now.
Yeah.
And they're choosing to forge their own path. One that leverages their unique strengths and embraces innovation in a way that's both efficient and impactful.
I think that's a great point.
And I think that's the key takeaway for you, our listener.
Yeah.
India's AI journey isn't about blindly following Silicon Valley.
Right.
It's about carving out their own niche, becoming a global leader in AI services, and ultimately contributing to the advancement of AI in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Absolutely.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought.
Okay.
Inspired by Anand's vision for AIM research. Could a specialized India-based research firm focused on AI genomics and data science actually become a global thought leader?
That's a great question.
It is. It's a question worth pondering as you continue to explore this ever-changing world of AI.
Totally.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey.